Hello beautiful friends, welcome back to another Vinyasa practice. My name is Sarah and today we're going to be working in a Mandala style of class. If you haven't done this before, it is basically where you start facing the front of your mat, and if you don't have a mat, that's totally cool as well. But eventually somewhere in the sequence you're going to turn to the back and then you're going to return to the front, whether that's in a half circle motion or a full circle motion. So it's really fun and fluid and flowy. We're also going to be focusing on twisting in this class as well. This is a short form version of a longer class that we have in our Patreon account. It's actually 75 minutes, so it's perfect for if you're wanting to explore your yoga practice in a little bit more depth. We also go into pranayama, breathwork and meditation a little bit more, and it's also a really great place that you can support me and this channel as we're growing. Anyway, we're going to get started in a kneeling position, and you can either start with kind of the tops of the feet on the ground, or if you felt like a little bit more spice, you can always tuck the toes under and sit back on your heels. And if you needed to, you can use your fingertips and just try pull any toes that aren't willing to come under, just tuck them under. Just for a moment, we're going to close down the eyes. Take a deep breath in through the nose, lift the crown of the head up to the sky. Fill up the belly, fill up the ribs, fill up the chest. Hold the breath at the top. Exhale, let the breath go. Either through the nose or the mouth. The first couple of breaths we'll take as clearing breaths. Okay, so if there's any stuck energy that needs to move through maybe your physical body, maybe that's your more subtle body, your mind, your heart. Use these breaths as a way to clear it out, to let it go, to land here really fully in your experience. Keeping this kind of introspective gaze within ourselves, let's just take our hands to opposite shoulders. See if you can even creep them along to maybe the shoulder blades. And we'll take a couple of rolls with the ribs here, creating a circular motion, kind of like barrel rolls. You can kind of imagine cat and cows here as you arch the back, imagining cow pose, breathing in. And then as you curl the back in, pressing the back of the heart to the space behind you on your exhale. And you can keep the eyes closed here and just know that you can always untuck the toes at any point, changing directions of the circles if you found yourself in one direction. Finding your way back through center, extend both of the arms out beside you and then start to take some kind of twist side to side. Bring one hand to the opposite shoulder, the other hand behind towards the bottom, the opposite hip. And you can make these movements small, you can make these movements big. I like to call these noodle arms because you basically want to have no weight in the arms. You're just using rotational force to move. We'll do this about 6 more times. I don't know about you, but my toes are kind of screaming at the moment, so we want some relief soon. When you're ready, just release. Come into a tabletop position and for a moment, tap out your toes. And then hands under shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Maybe we continue with those rolls that we were just doing in the kneeling position. So drawing ribs in one direction, drawing the ribs in the other direction, using your inhalation to drop the belly down, look forward, and then as you exhale, rounding and curling the other way. Come back through center, bring your right hand to the temple. Breathe in as you open the right elbow up to the sky. As you exhale, tap the right elbow down to the ground. Breathe in to open. Exhale to touch down. Last time, breathe in, open. This time as you exhale, can you thread your right hand through to the left? Drop the right shoulder down to the ground. Bring your left hand to the left temple. We're going to do the same thing, but down on the ground. Breathe in, unwind to the left hand. Sorry, the left elbow. And then as you exhale, tap the left elbow down to the ground. Breathe in to open, spin the left shoulder around. Exhale to tap. One more, breathe in to open. This time as you exhale, left hand comes behind towards the right hip. And maybe this is where you stay. If you felt like a little bit more, you might start to extend your left toes out towards the back left corner of the mat. And if you felt like something a little bit more spicy, maybe the left toes lift off the ground and you lift the heel up into the air. Flex out the foot, so you're pressing the left heel away, and that's going to help engage down the back of the left leg. Hold here for about 1 to 2 more breaths. A little bit of balance here. Left hand comes back down to the ground. Keep the left toes where they are. Breathe in, right hand reaches high. And maybe you stay here. If you felt like a little bit more, left knee can bend, right hand can come around to clasp onto the toes. Maybe you find a little kick up into your hand. Keep the little twist towards the right. Right hand comes down to the ground. Breathe in, left knee to left elbow. As you exhale, set the left foot outside your left hand. Drop your hips forward and down. If you need to, you can always wriggle your right knee back a little bit more so you got space to drop down. Take a breath in as you lift the crown of the head up to the sky. As you exhale, shift back, Ardha Hanumanasana, half monkey pose. Left toes turn towards you. Breathe in, shift your weight forward, back into your lunge. Exhale, shift back, softening the left knee a little bit. If you felt like more, use your next breath in, come forward, tuck right toes, lift the right knee, high lunge. Exhale, right knee comes down, shift back, Ardha Hanumanasana. Let's try that one more time. Breathe in, lift up, high lunge. Exhale, right knee down, shift your hips back. Come back into high lunge. Take a deep breath in through the nose. This time as you exhale, open Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Left foot might need to walk forward a little bit more so that the left heel is in the middle of your back foot, kind of roughly. Soften the shoulders down. Sink into your hips, left knee pressing towards the front of the mat. Breathe in, start to lift up, turn your right toes to the back corner of the mat. As you exhale, Skandasana, right knee bends, hips towards the right heel. You might be up a little bit higher here, or you can drop your hips down a little bit lower. It all depends on kind of your hips. Left toes turn up high, squeeze the shoulder blades back and down, take a deep breath in, and a breath out through the nose. We're going to turn to the back of the mat. Left hand plants, twisted lunge. Breathe in, right hand reaches high. As you exhale, squeeze the shoulder blades down the spine, look up to your right thumb. Breathe in, right hand comes down. As you exhale, step forward, left foot meets the right, forward fold. Breathe in as you ripple all the way up to Urdhva Hastasana, upward hands pose. Reach the fingertips to the sky. Exhale, send it straight back down, but lift your right toes high, standing splits. Soften the left knee here. Right leg is really long. We're trying to square our hips towards the ground. Hold here for one more breath. Long step back with the right toes. Turn to the side of the mat, goddess pose. Utthita Konasana. Toes are out. Heels are in. You're kind of in like a deep squat here. And you can stay here. If you felt like more, heels can come off the ground. We're going to do the same thing that we just did, clasping the hands around the opposite shoulder or maybe the opposite shoulder blade. You can stay still if you want to, taking some turns, some rolls with the ribs, with the shoulders. It's pretty challenging with the heels off the ground. Let's take about 1 or 2 more breaths. And then when you're ready, coming back through center, land the heels down, lengthen your legs, turn your toes in, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, fold forward, Prasarita Padottanasana, wide-legged forward fold. Shift the weight into the front of your toes. Heels are still grounded. Knees might be bent a lot or bent a little bit. Walk to the front of your mat, frame out your right foot. Breathe in, sweep your right toes high, 3-legged dog. And then as you exhale, hold, squeeze shoulder blades up the spine. Breathe in, roll forward into your plank position. Maybe you hold in a three-legged plank. You can always touch the right toes down, or as you exhale, lower down to the ground, chaturanga, untuck the left toe. Breathe in, baby cobra, engage the glutes as you roll your shoulders down the spine. As you exhale, push up onto your knees, tuck onto the toes, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a breath in through the nose here as you lift your hips a little bit higher. As you exhale, soften the knees slightly, push the heels down. Land the knees down on the ground. I'm going to try that flow on the other side. Left fingertips come to the left temple. Breathe in as you open left elbow up to the sky. Exhale, left elbow to the ground. Breathe in and lift. Exhale to tap. One more, breathe in. This time as you exhale through the left hand through to the right, drop the left shoulder down, little press through the right hand to roll the right shoulder back. Bring the right fingertips to the right temple. Breathe in as you open the right shoulder back a little bit more. As you exhale, tap the right elbow down to the ground. Breathe in to open. Exhale to close. One more, breathe in. This time as you exhale, maybe you stay or right hand can come behind towards the left hip. Maybe you stay here. Maybe the right toes walk to the back right corner of the mat. Maybe if you want a little bit of a balance challenge, you can lift the right toes off the ground. Keep pressing the back of the left hand into the ground. It's going to help you balance. Press the right heel away, draw the toes towards you, hold for one more breath. And then when you're ready, right toes meet the ground, but keep it extended. Right hand travels down. Breathe in as you lift your left hand high. Maybe you stay here. Or as you exhale, bend the right knee, take the left hand around the right foot. Try a little kick here. Extend the right foot back a little bit more, opening the heart space, maybe twisting to the left a little bit. Let go of the left hand, breathe in, right knee to right elbow. As you exhale, set the right foot to the outside, maybe forward a bit. Sink your hips low. Take a breath in as you lift up tall, crown of the head reaches to the sky. Exhale, shift your hips back, Ardha Hanumanasana. Soften the right knee, pull the right toes towards you. Breathe in, shift forward. Exhale, shift back. If you felt like a little bit more, breathe in, shift forward, tuck left toes, lift left knee off, high lunge. Exhale, left knee comes down, half splits. Shift it back. Breathe in, shift forward, lift the arms. A little tuck of the tailbone. Exhale, left knee down, shift your hips back. Breathe in, high lunge again. This time, on your exhale, Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Maybe the right foot needs to walk in a little bit more as you square the hips and shoulders towards the side. Hold for one more breath. Breathe in as you come up. Turn the left toes to the left corner of the mat. Exhale, Skandasana. Hips towards the left heel. Remember, you could be higher. You might be a little bit lower. Squeeze the shoulder blades down the spine. Hold here for one more breath. Maybe the left elbow pushes into the left leg. Turn to the back of the mat. Right hand plants down. Breathe in, twisted lunge. Left hand reaches high. Exhale to hold. Breathe in, left hand comes down. Exhale, step forward, Uttanasana. Breathe in, lift all the way up to standing. Maybe a little back bend if that feels good. Engage the glutes. Exhale, soften down. Sweep the left toes high, standing splits. So fingertips are on the ground. Left heel is reaching high. Try and make your left leg as long as possible. When you're ready for it, take a long step back with your left foot. Face the side of the mat, Utkatta Konasana, goddess pose. So remember, toes are out, heels are in. Maybe the heels are on the ground. Maybe the heels are lifted. You can stick with that first variation that we tried before. If you felt like something different, it's going to feel familiar. Going to try find those noodle arms again. So finding the rotation coming through the thoracic spine, part of the spine where the ribs attach to. And you can make these small, facing more towards the side, or you can rotate to make it a little bit more challenging for your balance. Let's go for about another 6. When you're ready, breathe in, lengthen the legs, turn the toes in. As you exhale, fold forward, Prasarita Padottanasana, wide-legged forward fold. Turn to the front of the mat. Breathe in, plant the right hand down, lift the left hand high. Twisted lunge, exhale, hold. Breathe in, left hand comes down, sweep the left toes high, 3-legged dog. And then as you exhale, start to roll yourself forward, find your way into a plank position. Remember, left toes can come down as well. Breathe in, shift your weight forward. Exhale, Chaturanga. Maybe you come halfway this time. Breathe into open, into maybe upward facing dog. As you exhale, come back into downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Deep breath in through the nose. Deep breath out. Just got one more flow, maybe adding on a little bit of spice towards the end. Breathe in as you look forward, bend your knees, hop to Malasana, or you can step. So feet are going to land outside the hands. Bend your knees, hips sink low, chest lifts high, squeeze the glutes. Take a breath in as you lift your hips up. Walk your feet underneath your hips. Exhale, fold forward. Breathe in as you rise to standing, lift the arms, lift the right knee up into the chest. As you exhale, right hands can clasp around the shin to pull the right knee in. If you felt like more, see if you can interlace your fingertips behind your right foot. Maybe you stay here, maybe you extend your right heel forward. Keep the right knee a little bit bent here, at least, or maybe a lot bent. Maybe you lean forward a little bit. One more breath. Breathe in, come back through center. Lift the right knee again. Exhale, warrior 3. Push the right heel behind you, hips and shoulders square to the ground. Engage the glute. Breathe in, warrior 2. Open to the side, left knee is bent here. Exhale to hold. Inhale, Skandasana. Right toes turn away. As you exhale, sink the hips towards the heels. Maybe this is where you stay. If you felt like a little bit more, try get the right shoulder on the inside of the right thigh. Extend your right fingertips out. Maybe left fingertips up. If you would like a bind here, left hand can come behind towards the right hip. Maybe the right hand scoops around to clasp onto the left hand. If you do find this bind, try lift out of your leg. It's kind of easy to sink into it and let that left shoulder roll forward. So roll it back. When you're ready, twisted lunge to the back. Breathe in as your left hand plants down, lift the right hand up. Exhale to hold. This is where you might stay, or you can look down to the ground, start to shift your weight forward as you plant your left fingertips down. Start to lift your left foot high, twisted half moon. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, can you rotate your chest towards the right a little bit more? Squeeze the shoulder blades down the back. Hold for one more breath. Back to twisted lunge. Breathe in, step the left toes back, left hand plants. As you exhale, lower the left heel down to the ground. Right foot is going to sit back. Vashisthasana, side plank. You can always have the left knee down for what we're going to do next. Take a deep breath in as you reach your right hand to the back, lift your hips. As you exhale, lower your hips to the ground, reach your right hand forward. Breathe in as you lift the hips, right hand reaches back. Exhale, lower your hips. Breathe into left, last time. Exhale to lower. Breathe in, lift, but circle your right hand down to the ground, plank position. As you exhale, maybe flow through a vinyasa, or you can skip it out. Down dog, facing the back. Take a deep breath in, and a deep breath out. Use your next breath in either to walk to Malasana or bend your knees. Take a little hop outside your feet outside the hands. Exhaling to bend your knees, sink your hips down low, press the elbows into the legs to help open up the hips. Breathe in as you lift your hips up high. As you exhale, walk your feet underneath you, Uttanasana, forward fold. Rise up to standing, breathe in, lift the left knee up into the chest, hands reach high. As you exhale, clasp the hands around the front of the leg as you pull it in. If you felt like a little bit more, maybe your fingertips interlace behind the left foot. This can already feel quite challenging. If you felt like more, left heel could extend away. Find a little lean of the upper body, kind of drawing the chin beyond the knee towards the shin. Chin to shin. One more breath. Breathe in, release the knee. As you exhale, warrior three. Goodness, what's up with my rhymes today? These are cool. Squaring hips and shoulders to the ground, squeezing shoulder blades back. Warrior two. Breathe in, open to the side again. As you exhale, bend your right knee, soften the shoulders. Skandasana. Breathe in as you turn your left toes away. As you exhale, lowering your heels towards, so hips towards the left heel. Again, this is where you might stay. If you felt like a little bit more, you could take the left shoulder in front of the left thigh. Maybe the right hand reaches high. Maybe the left fingertips are out. You can always find a half bind or a full bind. It's totally cool if the left heel is off the ground here. We're gonna work from somewhere, right? Draw the right shoulder back, one more breath. Letting it go, a bit of tension with the out breath. Turn to the front, right hand plants down, twisted lunge. Breathe in, left hand reaches high. Exhale, hold. Maybe this is where you stay or start to look forward. Take a little shift forward with the toes and the hands. Lift the right toes high. Parivrtta Ardha Chandrasana. Twisted half moon. If you wanted to play with your drishti, your eye gaze, you can start to turn the eye gaze towards the left. Maybe up a little bit higher towards your left hand. Take your step back with the right toes, find twisted lunge again. Lower your right heel down to the ground. Breathe in, step your left foot back. Exhale to hold. Remember, you can always bring the right knee down here. Left hand reaches forward. Take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, tap the hips towards the ground, reach the left hand back. Breathe in to lift. Exhale to lower. One more, breathe in, lift. Exhale to lower, final burst. Breathe in to lift, circle the left hand down to the ground. Exhale, flow through a vinyasa. We'll make our way back into a kneeling position. Of course, you can always find child's pose as well, hips over the heels. Close down the eyes just for a couple of breaths. When you're ready, open your eyes again. Extend your right foot out in front of you. Left foot comes towards the right inner thigh. Breathe in as you lift your arms above your head. As you exhale, reach your hands forward. Maybe hands hug around the outside of the leg. Maybe you can clasp your hands around the foot again. Wherever you are, try not to force any sort of motion in your body. We want to encourage depth and growth using the breath, allowing the breath to dictate if we feel safe to explore a posture, an asana, or not. Take one more breath. As you breathe in, fill up the back of the ribs. As you exhale, maybe you can walk. I'm going to use that term that we used before, chin to the shin, a little bit more. So extend your chin a little bit further forward on the leg. Walk yourself back Just for a moment, cross your left foot over the right thigh. You can always tuck the right foot in as well. We're not going to be here for too long. Breathe in, lift up tall. As you exhale, twist to the left. Ardha Matsyendrasana, half Lord of the Fish pose. So right elbows either in front of the shin or to the outside of the thigh. Trying to twist the shoulder towards the left. Right toes pull back towards you. One more breath here. Come back through center, we'll swap it out to the other side. So left leg forward, right foot in. Breathe in as you lift your arms up tall. As you exhale, lean yourself forward. Land wherever you land. Maybe even close down the eyes here, letting go of any distractions that you might be experiencing. Can you take one more really full, deep breath? Just starting to walk yourself back. Cross your right foot over your left thigh. Take a deep breath in through the nose, lift up tall. As you exhale, twist to the right. Finding your arm variation of choice. Can you use your inhalation to lift up a little taller? As you exhale, can you twist just a little bit deeper? As you're ready for it, let's unwind. A couple of different options for where you go next. I'm going to head straight down into Shavasana on my back. If you've got any final movements that you'd like to take before rest, then go for it. You can also finish your practice in a seat. I encourage you to stay present here. You know, it's quite tempting just to finish a video and just be, I'm done. But sometimes Shavasana or any sort of moment of pause after movement can almost be the more important part, where we reflect and we land and we let the ripples of our practice kind of seep into the different parts of ourselves, whether that be the body, the mind, the heart. We're not going to be here for too long, but invite the eyes to close down. Slowing the breath down again. The body becomes heavy, letting go of any holding. If you had a little bit longer, I would highly encourage you to stay in the stillness, even if it's just an extra minute or two. Maybe just set a timer on your phone or your laptop or whatever you're watching this class on. If this is where you're wanting to finish your practice, eventually we'll make our way up into a seat, and you can take as many movements along the way as feels good. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. It was short and sweet and fluid and fun. I hope that you enjoyed yourself. If you are keen to explore a longer variation of this class, remember there is the Patreon class that's 75 minutes, and we go into the sequence and breathwork and meditation and themes in a little bit more depth, and it's a great place where you can explore your yoga practice more. From me to you, I thank you again. Namaste. I'll see you next time.